Hello my beautiful queens and welcome back. This video is for my young mommies, actually my mommies period. Just gonna talk about some different things, talk about postpartum, baby blues, just different things that I had to deal with as a young mother. As most of you know that do know me, I had my daughter when I was 16, in high school still. It has definitely been one of the hardest journeys I've ever invoked on. I mean, this journey has been extremely hard. I don't think I've ever been on a journey this hard. But I just wanted to talk to you guys because I know, there is a lot more younger mothers nowadays than, the old days. People wait until they're married to have kids, waiting until they're like late 20s, early 30s. Nowadays, there are more young women having kids, so there's a lot of things that we as women go through and experience that are similar, and we just don't talk about it enough. There's not a platform, there is nobody, at least in my area, that helps the young mothers. There's nobody that really talks to people, and if there is, I don't think those things are being utilized as much as they could be. So we're just gonna jump in. Of course, you guys already know, have my list. So I'm gonna start with my high school mommies. When I was in high school, there was a lot of judgment. There were a lot of smart remarks. There were people who just assumed things about me. A lot of things. There was a lot of things when I had gotten pregnant in high school. Teachers looked at you weird. There were comments made, there's already doubt, statistics, society is already not on your side. So high school wasn't super bad for me when I was pregnant, but it was still uncomfortable for me. Females that are in high school, we're still growing. We're kids ourselves. So there's a lot of things that people expect us to do and expect us to know how to act, how to parent, offer it when we become a parent, but we're still kids ourselves. So there's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of things that you have to learn along the way. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. I'm still making mistakes, but it's part of parenting. It's part of being a mother. You're gonna make mistakes, you learn from those mistakes, and you just do better. In high school, had judgment, had comments, especially in high school. Everybody is going to use the mom card as a trigger. I mean, it's wrong, and it's a button that shouldn't even be used, or a button that shouldn't even be pushed for mothers. But people know that that's going to hit below the belt, and that's going to hit a nerve. It's automatic. It's always going to be a trigger that people use against you. So my advice is look at it as you're a mother, and there's always going to be somebody out here that is going to try to trigger you, that is going to test your limits, test your buttons, all of that. But just keep in mind that you are someone's mother, and someone else's opinions don't matter. Long as you know that you're taking care of your child and you're doing what you need to do as a parent, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Let them push the button all they want. Don't act out. As hard as I know it is, and because I've had the same button pushed, I know it's extremely hard because you feel like you want to defend your child because they're innocent. But at the same time, do not put yourself in a situation where you could possibly have your child taken away. You don't want to put yourself in any scenarios where someone can call CYS and label you as an unfit mother. It's just too much. So, let people push that button. Let them say what they want, because as long as you know in your heart and your soul that you are a good parent, and those actions follow up with what you say as a good parent, let them talk. I know it's hard, especially being a young mom, because you haven't matured yet. You're still a growing woman. There's still a lot of things that you have to learn as a mom and a woman. So just try your best not to let those people get to you, because becoming a teen young mother, that's the first automatic button that they're going to push. There's going to be judgment. People are going to judge you from here across the world. People still judge me. and my daughter is now 10 years old. Still get judged. You know, like I said, you just have to do what you have to do as a parent, raise your child right, and forget what the haters say. Being in high school, you know, you have schoolwork that you have to do. So a lot of that comes in with just balancing your time and making a routine. So when the doctors say, when that baby sleeps, you sleep, ladies, close them eyes, go to bed, take a nap. Whether that nap is 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 45, 2 hours, that baby closes his eyes, mommy closes those eyes. You just really got to find your balance, because I know my daughter, she was not a night sleeper at all. She was up every 2.5, 3 hours. So it was really rough for me getting up in the morning, going to school still, coming home, you know, tending to her, making sure all my work is done. It's a lot. It definitely is a lot for a person, especially a young teen mother, to handle all that schoolwork and stuff. But it is not impossible. You just got to find your rhythm. You got to find your flow. Sleep, kiss sleep goodbye. I'm just going to be flat out honest. Kiss your sleep goodbye. There's going to be times that your baby is sick, that you're going to be up all night. You might have a baby that doesn't sleep through the night. You might have a baby that does sleep through the night, and you know, maybe they catch a cold. Maybe they're not comfortable at night and they get up throughout the night. And I know that was one thing that was extremely hard for me, because I love my sleep. I hate being tired. So, you know, eventually you just get used to it. As a mother, sleep goes out the window. Sleep goes out the window. I mean, honestly, before I had my kid, sleep was easy. After I've had my kid, I have not slept the same before my child, after she was born. Have not slept the same. I'm a lighter sleeper now. I usually don't sleep through the night. I'm getting up at least once, even if it's just to roll over or open my eyes. It's very rare that I sleep through the night. Even when my child is gone, I still don't sleep through the night. So you just gotta get used to it. You know, some days you're gonna be exhausted, some days you're tired. But remember, it is temporary. Try not to let it irritate you, because then you know you get irritated and take it out on the baby. And then as far as friends and family goes, I really want to address the, you know, baby showers, birthdays, holidays. I know as a young mom, I was really hell-bent on seeing who was going to support me. You know, when you're pregnant, you have a whole entire army of people, you know, saying that they're going to support you, be there, help watch the baby, do whatever you need them to do. And when that baby comes, you go from an army to about 3 people, if that. But to be honest, now that I'm older and I look back and I've kind of learned, don't get so caught up on events. Don't get so caught up on birthdays. Don't get so caught up on baby showers and who's attending, gender reveals, who's there, who's not there. The most important and primary thing that you want to focus on is who's going to support you when that baby comes. I mean, if somebody doesn't show up to your baby shower, showing up to your baby shower does nothing for your baby, honestly. Showing up to a birthday does nothing for your child, but show them, hey, this person is here, and 9 times out of 10, they're not even going to pay attention to you or realize or remember that you were even at this party. So as a mother, don't put people so high on a pedestal, because support comes from, you know, who comes around, who calls and who checks up on you, who, if you need something, who's going to be there. If something bad happens, you know, who's going to be at your doorstep in an instant. Same with family members. You know, you're going to have family members that, oh, I'll help you with whatever you need, and just call me, I'm going to babysit. And then when the baby gets here, all of that goes out the window, all of it. But try not to focus so much on that. Focus on the people that do help you, the people that do support you. Those are the people that are going to help you get through this journey. You're going to have 50 million people telling you they're going to help you, and those 50 million people are going to be gone when that baby comes. You know, the first month they might be, oh, I want to come see, but eventually all that fades away. You end up having a few people that you can count on, and that's about it, and that's fine. That is okay to have those few people that you can count on. So just don't get so caught up on events and baby showers and stuff like that, because it is important to the mom, but that doesn't determine somebody's love and support for you or that child showing up to an event. Honestly, it just doesn't. So keep the people close to you that act on their words. They show up. They, if you need something, if you need a ride, if you need formula, if you need diapers, if you need anything, and there's certain people that show up, keep those people close to you. And then maturity. It's weird because when you become a young mother or a teen mother, people automatically expect that you're just supposed to have this top maturity. You're supposed to be a grown woman out the woodworks just because you have a kid, and you're not. In reality, your maturity comes as you experience life. Maturity is not determined by age. Life experiences and how you handle things and going through life, that is what brings your maturity. Living and learning, trial and error. So that's one thing that I kind of struggled with, is that I was put so high on a pedestal of maturity because I had a kid. So now you try to live up to this expectation that everybody has for you, and you just end up not being true to yourself. Ladies, young teen mothers, it is perfectly okay if you do not have motherhood, womanhood, any of that in the bag as soon as you have your child. It is okay. Don't let anybody tell you any different. That is not. As you get older, you will mature. When I had my daughter at 16, I was not mature. The things that were on my mind was like going to parties, kicking it with my friends still, going to the skating rink, all that stuff. That stuff doesn't leave your mind, or you don't stop wanting to do those things just because you have a child. And a lot of people expect you to automatically become a grown woman just because you have a child, and it doesn't work like that. Becoming a grown woman takes time. You have to learn certain things. So that is one thing that I definitely struggled with. People had me so high on their agenda that I had to be this grown woman now because I had a child. And I struggled with that because in reality, I was still a child. We're still young. We haven't even gone out into the real world yet. So how can we be this mature, grown woman when we still have yet to experience kid things? You still got dances to go to, graduation, senior skip day, what else? So many things, musicals, sports. There's so many things that you still have to experience in high school. Don't let anybody try to force you to be so grown and so mature. It's going to come with time. As you grow older, you'll mature. When I was in high school still, I was immature. My mindset was extremely young. So as I got older, I matured. I became a woman. And that's how it goes. That's how life is. You just don't become a grown woman just because you have a kid. I feel like a lot of people probably struggle that because people do have you right here with their expectations, and you're like, seriously, I'm still a kid. I still have things to learn. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. It is okay. You'll get there. You'll be okay. You'll figure it out. You'll have it down packed altogether. College, I missed out on my whole entire college experience. I wasn't able to go to a college and stay in a dorm and experience college life. There were times where I would have a babysitter, and sometimes I would go to college parties or go to a university and hang out, but I missed the entire getting a dorm, move-in day, going to classes, the parties, sororities, so many different things that I missed out on. And for a long time, it bothered me. There was a lot of things that I missed out on in high school that really, really bothered me, because it was like, I'll never be able to do these things again. But when you choose to be a mother, you choose to sacrifice things, and sometimes that's just what it is. Sometimes you have to suck it up and you have to deal with it because it's life, and that's what I did. I don't look back and regret any of those things, but I do wish that I could have experienced things that other teen females got to experience, and young women. I did end up going back to school though. Working now, I'm trying to go straight through to my master's. It's hard. It's not impossible. If I could do it, anybody could do it. So I am in school now, working on getting my master's in social work. I will say that taking time off from college and allowing myself to grow and work and figure out what I do want to do in life helped me a lot with school, because honestly in high school I didn't care. I didn't care about anything. I passed by the skin of my teeth just enough to pass. So when I got older and I matured and, you know, I really figured out what I want to do in life, college is a breeze. I mean, I was honestly shocked how easy it was, because I hated school. When I say I hated school, I wanted nothing to do with school in high school. I mean, I could care less about some grades, tests. Like I said, I got by just enough to pass, and that was good enough for me. But when you find what you want to do in college and you do go back, I'm totally different. When you have a mature mindset and you know what you want to get out of life and you know what you want to achieve with this degree, it's completely different. You're around more like-minded people. You get a chance to think differently and think more openly. You get a chance to see how others think. You can look at things from different views. So I will say that college definitely helped me grow as a woman. It definitely matured me a lot. It opened my mind to different things, how I view things. I look at the bigger picture now instead of just the small picture. I look at things from all angles, how different scenarios could work out. So I will definitely say that college was easy for me so far. Don't think if you graduate from high school and you don't automatically go to college, you're not going to be successful. There's a lot, I mean, it's becoming so popular to be successful without a college degree now. Like, you could pretty much do anything. You could do so much without a college degree. Just don't let it scare you away, you know, if you graduate from high school and you don't go to college right away. I honestly didn't think about going to college until about 23, I would say. Around 23 is when I started thinking, you know, I work at an agency for people with intellectual disabilities and I love it. I spent a year after high school at McDonald's, and after that I went to that job field and I've been in it ever since. I absolutely love it. You know, I love helping somebody. I just want to move up. I don't want to be a manager forever. You know, I want to eventually do something with my degree. So don't think coming fresh out of high school, if you don't know what you want to do or you don't want to go to college, that you're going to be a failure, because you're absolutely not. You know, I feel like it's better for you to experience life and figure out what you want to do before you go, rather than you go and, you know, you're still a child, you still have a child mindset, you're not worried about getting a degree, you know. Or there's people that have their mindset made up. Not everybody, you know, doesn't not know what they want to do. Teen mothers that do graduate from high school and have a plan, they know what they want to do in life, and that's great. Happy that that works out for people like that. But there's a lot of teen mothers that graduate from high school and then don't do anything else after that, and that is okay. You know, society makes it seem like as soon as you graduate high school, you have to go off to college, or if you don't go to college, you're not going to be anything, or if you are a teen mother and you don't go to college, you're not going to be anything. And I'm here to tell you, that's bullshit. Flat out. It's bullshit. You can literally be anything that you want to be in life. But with us being young mothers, we just have to work 3 times harder for it. So long as you put in the work, there's nobody that can stop you in this world as long as you put in that work. So do not let anybody try to down you or change your mind or make you feel like a failure just because you don't go to college right out of high school, because you're not. I know a lot of people, a lot of young mothers that didn't go to college and are out here making a killing, an amazing life without a college degree. You just have to find your job and your motivation of what you want to do and give it your all. You got a kid to feed now. You got to do what you got to do. A few statistics that I just want to read, because, you know, when I was in high school, my thing was I wanted to beat the odds. I wanted to beat the statistics. Society and the world already had it out for me and for young mothers that we're not going to make it. We're going to have this kid and we're not going to amount to anything in life. And I'm here to tell you, bullshit. Teen pregnancy is the leading reason as to why females drop out of high school. 50% don't graduate. 25% have a second child. Less than 2% earn a college degree by age 30. 8 out of 10 dads do not marry the mom, and more than half of young mothers are on welfare. I mean, honestly, the statistics are crap. It's annoying that society has put young mothers and mothers period into this box that we're confined in, and I know numbers don't lie, but it just seems like it was made to be that we're going to be nothing. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that, because we can be whatever we want. And there are so many young mothers that have just soared through statistics. I mean, broke every barrier there was. I mean, I already broke all the ones that I've read pretty much already. The statistics was a really big thing for me. I didn't like that at all when I was in school, because I definitely researched it, you know. And I just hate how against society is for teen moms. So if you want to look up statistics, use that as your motivation. Let society know, fuck you. I'm going to amount to something. I am going to be something. I'm going to break these statistics, and I'm going to be the best mother that I can be to my child. And there's nothing in this world that can stop me from doing that but myself. We're all going to be the best mothers we can, and we are going to provide a life for our children that is everything that they could want. And we're going to do the best that we can. At the end of the day, that's all you can do, is do the best that you can. If it's not someone else's best, that's fine. Do the best that you can. Nobody else's best, yours. So the next thing I think that's really, really, really important, that there's a lot. And when I say a lot, there are so many women that deal with postpartum depression and don't even know it. They have it, don't know it, they just feel off. There's women that do find out they have postpartum and don't talk about it because they're embarrassed. And that's something that I really want to bring light to, is there's so many experiences that we go through as mothers that are so similar. And we just don't talk about it. We don't make each other feel comfortable. Like, hey, I was going through this and I seen that you were. Let me give you some tips. Let me talk to you about it. You know, people are uncomfortable. People are embarrassed. There's no gateway for us to communicate with each other and uplift each other and be each other's shoulder to lean on. So for postpartum, I want people to understand that if you do have postpartum, you are at risk for having major depression later in life. I mean, that is honestly just, that's the facts. If you have postpartum, you're at risk for having major depression later in life. Now, some symptoms that can go along with postpartum, it's a list full, but I picked a few just to name. And just because you have these symptoms does not mean you have postpartum. These are just some things that you can look for, that you might see. So a few symptoms are loss of appetite, insomnia, intense irritability, difficulty bonding with the baby, mood swings, depression, fear, and crying. Like I said, just because you have some of these symptoms, just if you have one, that doesn't mean you have postpartum, but it is definitely something to pay attention to and take serious. I've known people personally that have went through postpartum, and it's really sucky. It's a sucky, terrible thing to deal with. And I feel like any woman that deals with it shouldn't have to deal with it alone. There should be somebody there, or somebody that you're comfortable to talk to. And I know sometimes there's not anybody. Sometimes some females aren't fortunate enough to have that type of support system. But that's why I want to open up this group and just talk about things. So at least the women in my area or that follow me, we have somebody that we can talk to. We have somebody that's a voice that we can listen to, somebody that can give us just different ideas, opinions, tips, make it more comfortable for us. Get a journal and just document your days. If you feel off or you're experiencing certain symptoms, document it. At 3:00, I started crying out of nowhere. I wasn't upset at anything. It lasted about a half hour. Document that. Today, I had a loss of appetite. I didn't eat anything all day. Document it. If you're struggling to bond with your child, don't feel like you're a crappy parent. Don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up over it. It could just be postpartum. Document it. So make sure if you can document it, it'll be easier for if you go to the doctor and show them like, hey, for this past month, I've been documenting and these are the symptoms that I'm having. And you show your doctor and he can look at it and he could better clarify what's going on with you. So things that you want to do if you do have postpartum, or if you don't know if you do or not, You want to avoid alcohol and drugs because those things, they'll make it worse. You know, they'll put you in a state of mind that can probably worsen your symptoms instead of make them better. So you just want to avoid those things. Connect with new moms. You know, if you're feeling off or you just don't know who to connect with, find some new moms, or if you know new moms, you know, get together with them. You talk, ask them things that they did, ask them if they dealt with certain things, how they handled it, get tips. You know, it should be comfortable enough for women to talk to other mothers about things. You know, we should be comfortable enough to lift each other up and, you know, say, hey, I went through this. This is what I did. Hey, this is what happened when I did this. This didn't work for me. Like, we should be able to have a conversation with each other like it's normal, especially in the motherhood group. We should definitely be able to talk to each other and be comfortable with talking about these things. I cannot express this enough. Even if it's 30 minutes, you have to find time for yourself, no matter what. You know, especially as a new mother, you're gonna have some days where you're just frustrated, baby's crying all day long, you don't know why, you wanna jump off the back porch now because your emotions and hormones are just all over the place, you don't know what to do, you wanna lay down and cry. It's crazy. It's a crazy ride, especially the first couple months. So anytime that you're able to make time for yourself, use that time for yourself. Even if it's as simple as baby goes to bed at 8 o'clock, give yourself a pedicure. You know, light some candles, take a bath, get some aromatherapy, meditate, watch a movie, something. It could be minor, it can be major, it could be as simple as drawing or coloring a picture. But find time for yourself. It is so important that you find time for yourself. Another thing is accept help. This is something that I kind of struggle with also because my pride is extremely big. You know, when growing up, my dad instilled it into my head, you know, figure things out, figure out how to do things for yourself so you never have to ask somebody for help. So for me, asking for help and accepting it is a huge problem for me, and it still is to this day. I mean, I will let myself drown until the point where I can't even take it anymore, and then I finally have to ask for help. I don't know what it is. I just hate asking for help. It's extremely hard for me. So if somebody's offering you help, especially as a new young mother, take it. Take advantage of it. If somebody wants to come by, you know, and babysit or whatever, if you trust that person, use that time for yourself. You know, if somebody is willing to help you, take it, because you are going to burn yourself out if you do not accept any help that's given to you. You know, take advantage of that help. As a new mom, I understand it's scary. I understand, you know, with COVID going on, you don't want people around your kid. And I would definitely say, you know, that's cool. If you don't want somebody around your child, that's fine. But if you have somebody that you know is trustworthy, your child's father, your family, his family, close friends, if you're comfortable with them, like being with your child or whatever, let them help. If somebody wants to come over for an hour and sit there with the baby while you go grocery shop or you go do something, accept that help. Accept somebody extending their hand to you, because the last thing you want to do is burn yourself out to the point where now, you know, you're making yourself upset because you're just losing your mind. You're frustrated, you're irritated, you know, you're not taking breaks when you need to, you're not accepting help, you're not doing things for yourself. You're going to burn yourself out. So accept the help that's given. And then avoid isolation. Do not isolate yourself at all, especially being a first-time young mom. Being a mom, period, for the first time. Do not isolate yourself. If you're going through postpartum or you're dealing with symptoms like that or baby blues, it's a mind game. You have to be in control of your mind. You have to force yourself to think better thoughts, because what your mind is going to tell you is that you don't want to be around anybody. You don't want visitors. You don't want to go see anybody. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to stay cooped up in the house. You want to be alone. Do not do that. You are going to make it worse. Force yourself. And when I say force yourself, literally, you might be in the worst mood and might not want to do anything. Force yourself to put those shoes on, put your jacket on, and go outside and go find something to do. Because putting yourself in isolation is only going to make it worse. It's not going to get any better. And feeling like that is a sucky feeling. Nobody wants to feel like that. I mean, postpartum has a list of symptoms. Nobody wants to feel like that. Try, even if you make a routine, make a schedule, you know, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to go walk in the park. Or every Wednesday, I'm going to take a ride and listen to music. Every Friday, I'm going to go to the park and have a picnic. Make a list, make a routine, make a schedule, but don't just seclude yourself from the entire world. Isolating yourself is easy, but it makes matters worse. You know, you might sit here and think, oh, well, I'm not a people person. Oh, I don't feel like being bothered. Oh, I don't want to see anybody. But I'm telling you, doing things, seeing people, talking to people, it makes you feel better. Being around positivity and just uplifting spirits, it makes you feel way better than you isolating yourself from everyone. So that was just a few things. Treatments for it, you know, you have counseling, which I'm a huge advocate for. I feel like talk therapy helps with just about almost everything. I am huge for counseling, you know. And a lot of people, for them, it's hard to go and talk to a stranger. I get that 100%. You know, when I was talking to people, it was weird for me because I had social anxiety extremely bad. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what are these people thinking of me? They're judging me, but that's not their job. That's why you go to counseling, because they aren't biased. They can't have an opinion on you. So definitely for counseling, huge advocate for it. I always try to say, you know, try counseling, try exercising, try meditating, journaling, try so many different things before medication, because I'm not big on medication, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just not a big medication advocate, I guess, because I've seen people get put on medications, get put on antidepressants, certain things, and they're just a zombie. I mean, nodding off, can't stay up. It just makes them worse. And that can't feel good if you're like that. I mean, I can't see anybody really enjoying life like a zombie. So, I mean, but some medicines do help people. You know, for some people they are good. For some people they do work for them. And that's totally okay. If medication is your route and that's what helps you, go for it. I'm all for whatever helps anybody. Counseling, huge for that. Antidepressants, hormone therapy, and relaxation techniques. You know, you can learn different ways to relax, different ways to meditate, journaling. There's a lot of different relaxation techniques that you can use for postpartum. One thing that I definitely wanted to kind of touch on was vacationing, okay? I don't know what it is, but not even vacationing, just vacationing, partying, going out with friends, you know, living life. For some odd reason in society, they feel like when you have a child, especially when you're a young mother, that your life just stops. Like you're just supposed to stop living because now you have a child. And I'm here to tell you, again, bullshit. Live your life. You know, if you're gonna go on vacation, sis, go on vacation and have a great time. Live your life. If you go out to party, go out party, get drunk, have a great time. Do not let society's opinions and people's opinions of you as a mother stop you from living, okay? Because mommies deserve me time. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. Yes, you have a kid. Yes, you're a mother now. Yes, you have responsibilities. Yes, you have things to take care of. But you are also a person, okay? You are still an individual who requires me time. And psychology has proven that it's important for mothers to have me time so you don't burn yourself out, so you don't suffer from exhaustion, so you don't suffer from postpartum. So if you want to take that weekend trip, girl, you pack those bags and you take that weekend trip. If you have a supportive family, and even if you don't have a supportive family, you have supportive friends, or you just know somebody that's supportive that's always been in your life, that baby is going to be taken care of with whoever they're staying with. You shouldn't have any worries, and if you do, then you shouldn't leave your baby with them. But if you leave your child with somebody that you know you can trust, know that your kid is going to be okay, sis, take that vacation. Fly out. I mean, it's it's always been weird to me how people feel like just because you become a mother, you're supposed to stop doing what you're doing in life. Like you're not supposed to live anymore. You know, I will say having my daughter, it was a struggle for me because that was definitely something people were saying, you're a mom and you're out partying and you're out till 3 a.m. and you're going on vacation and your child's only 3 months and you're leaving her, yada, yada, yada. You know, people are going to have opinions for the rest of your life as to how you parent. But it's so important, that ties into me time. It is so important to still live your life. You still have a life to live. Your life does not stop just because you have a kid. The only thing that happens when you have a kid is your life changes. You just have to make some alterations to it. That's it. You're switching up your routine. You have somebody else to live for. You have somebody else that you have to take care of. You have a new responsibility. That's all. That doesn't mean your life stops. That doesn't mean you stop partying. That doesn't mean you stop traveling, doing things that you like, going out with friends, you know, having spa days, all types of different things, even with family, doing things with family. None of that stops just because you have a child. And you know, people enjoy, I don't know why, but people enjoy trying to determine the parent you are based off of you going on a vacation, you going to party. People can't determine the type of mother you are, because you know what? I go on vacations, definitely party now, because before my anxiety was so bad I didn't party as much. But you know, now that my daughter's older, she's pretty independent, doesn't require much, stays with her Mima and her papa, stays with her aunts, stays with my close friends that have helped raise her with me. And I know my child is good. I have nothing to worry about. Just went to Atlanta this past weekend. I have nothing to worry about. I know my child is fine. You don't stop living because you have a child. Me going on vacation, me going to the bars, me partying, that doesn't determine me as a mother, because you know what? I know for a fact I'm a damn good mother. So don't stop living your life just because somebody else wants to comment on it. Doesn't matter what they think. Doesn't matter what they say. Like I said, as long as you know that you're a good mother, as long as you know you take care of what you need to at home, and as long as you know that your child is taken care of, sis, have the time of your life and enjoy your life. Doesn't matter what anybody else out here says. I know that's a big struggle, especially in the area that I live in. I live in a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody sees everybody's moves. So the area I live in is very opinionated. F them. You know, as long as home is taken care of, it doesn't matter what they say. They're not helping. They're not paying for diapers. They're not paying for formula. So if they want to tend to that, and if they want to throw in and help, then by all means, tell them, hey, if you want to help throw in and raise this baby, then come on with it. But other than that, if you're not, their opinion doesn't matter. Do what you want. Live your life. I know there are females that deal with shitty dads, and I also want to touch on that, the relationship between the mother and the father, because being a young mother especially, and if you have a child with the father and you guys are together and stuff, babies change a lot. Sometimes babies make or break a relationship. But one thing I want women to understand: do not use your child as a pawn based on your feelings. I've seen plenty of times where, it just didn't work out for the two parents. They end up splitting, feelings are still held on to. And then now they use the kid as a pawn. You can't see your kid. You can't talk to your kid. And even men that don't step up to the plate and help take care of the kid, do not be a barrier between that child. I'll say, for example, for myself, my mom, her and my biological father didn't stay together. My mom not ever once, for as far back as I can remember, not once told me I couldn't see my dad, never let him talk. She never once told him that he couldn't talk to me, never once told him he couldn't come see me. It's always been an open door for her, and that's something that I learned from her and something that I really took to, because it allowed me, and that was her whole reasoning, it allowed me to grow up and form my own opinion of this man, form my own opinion of what type of father he was as I grew up. And that's what you should do with your child. I understand if you have feelings for the child's father, if you were in love, it's gonna hurt. It's going to hurt like any other heartbreak, especially because now you have a tie for the rest of your life with this man. But you have to put your pride, your feelings, and all that aside and understand that there is a bigger picture to this. There is a child involved. You should not be using your child for your feelings. Just because the father isn't as involved as you want him to be, maybe he's not involved barely at all. If he calls 3 months later down the line and he wants to see his kids, you let him see that child, you know, because you don't want your child to grow up and then he or she find out that, oh, my mom wasn't letting me see my dad. Oh, my mom's the reason why I couldn't have a relationship. My mom's the reason why I couldn't talk to him on the phone. You know, you don't want to be labeled as that when your child grows up. So it's going to be hard. I've seen women just upset because their child hurts. And I understand that, you know, nobody wants to see their child hurt. It breaks our hearts to see our children hurt and we can't do anything about it. But I promise you, in the long run, it will be so much better to let them grow and form an opinion of their own father. Don't form that opinion for them, because it is going to turn around and it is going to bite you in the ass. And it's not going to be pretty. You know, you don't want them to turn 18 and they done found all this out, that you're the reason why themselves and their father don't have a relationship, because you were that barrier. You were the one that was in the middle of that. It is hard. We want to protect our children from everything. We want to protect them from hurt, the world, even sometimes their own fathers. But we can't. At the end of the day, they have another parent and they're entitled to see that other parent. They have a right to form a relationship. They have a right to see that parent. I mean, my biological father, there'd be times where it'd be months, wouldn't even talk to the man, wouldn't even visit me, you know, and then one day he'd just pop out the blue like, hey, I want to come see you, or hey, he wants to call me, you know, and then it'll go another 6 months not hearing from the man. But there was never a time that my mom said, no, you can't talk to her, no, you can't come see her, no. She has always left that door open for me. When I got older, learn things, you decide up for yourself as an adult if you want that relationship or not. But I'm grateful that my mom gave me that opportunity to make those choices and decisions as I got older, because she allowed me to form my own opinion. She allowed me, you know, to experience that stuff. Yes, it might hurt you as a mother, but in the long run, I'm telling you, it's worth it, because there's no blame on you. You know, you did what you had to do. You always kept the open door. You always allowed that person to be in that child's life, whether that child wants to have a relationship with them or not. That's on them. You know, I've seen females have an open door policy with the child's father, and the child get older and they don't want anything to do with the father. You know, they've gotten older and they haven't stepped up as a father. Yeah, you don't come and see me, you don't support me, you don't call me, you don't talk to me, and I'm 18 now, I'm 21, I'm 23. I look back at this stuff, you know, and it's just not a healthy relationship I want to keep moving forward with. And that's fine, but you know what? You were allowed to form that opinion. You were allowed to make that decision for yourself when you got older. So ladies, I understand it's hard. I understand you're going to go through a heartbreak, and that's one of the suckiest feelings, is not having your child's father be a part of that, you know, especially if you were together for a long time. I understand that completely, but you cannot use your own feelings to be a wedge between you and your child's father's relationship. You just can't do that. It's not right. I understand you might want to protect them from certain things, you know. You want to protect them from disappointment. You want to protect them from them being no-call, no-shows. It sucks. That's the part of parenting that sucks. That's the part of being a mother that sucks, you know. You're going to have to carry that hurt for you and your kid. But in the long run, it's worth it. You know, don't be the bad guy in your child's story when they get older. So just keep that in mind, ladies. The most that you got to focus on is just being the best mother that you can to your child, even if you still are with your child's father. Just focus on being the best mother that you can be for that child. Other than that, I don't think I have too much more. All the young mothers that I know and all the mommies that I know are amazing mothers. You know, there's some that are young mothers. They still have work, but guess what? When I was a young mother, I needed work too. And I didn't start maturing and start becoming a beautiful flower of a mom until like my early 20s. I had a lot of learning. I had a lot of living to do, a lot of experiences that I needed to experience still as a woman, as a teen. So, you know, you guys are not alone. there's plenty of things that you guys experience, that I have experienced, that thousands of other women have experienced. So you guys definitely are not alone. I've been through all the judgment, opinion, button pushing in the world. If I can do it, if I can literally come from being a 16 and pregnant mom to where I am now, anybody could do it. And I absolutely love being that type of example for young mothers and women, period. Even females that are older than me having kids now, you know. I get a lot of comments and praise for the type of mother that I am, and I really take that to heart because a lot of us been through the same situations. A lot of us dealt with the same things. So I love being on a pedestal where I can tell females, you know, you can do anything that you put your mind to. There's nothing in this world that's stopping you other than you. Anything that you want to accomplish, you can do it, period. Being a mother is just, we're going to have to put that extra work in, and that's just what it is. You know, you got to work for what you want, and it's not impossible. You can achieve whatever you want. I graduated from high school, ended up going to college, you know, got enough credits just about for a bachelor's almost. My first actual home, I built from the dirt up. You know, I seized opportunities for that. You know, there's different things out here that if you live in PA that offers you, you know, take advantage of those things to get you to where you need to go. But other than that, I mean, I think that's pretty much all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to know, how I dealt with things, anything in the world, you guys are more than free to ask me anything. I'm really connective with young mothers and mothers, period, because it's a crazy journey, you know. It's a journey most women go through. It's a journey that we share together. And I know that there's a lot of barriers. I know there's a lot of statistics. I know there's a lot of opinions and judgment that come with this that can really throw a mother off. So I just wanted to come on here, talk to you guys a little bit, connect, just touch base on a few things. I'll probably forget. By the time I turn this video off, I'll probably remember about 50 other things that I could have talked about. But those were just some of the important things to me that I wanted to touch on and just relate with you guys with. Let me know how you guys liked it. Let me know if it was helpful. If there's any tips or anything that you guys do that I didn't name or state and think that it would work, you know, let me know. I could let others know. So yeah, I think this was a great video. I loved it. Love talking to you guys. But other than that, I think that's about it. So we will catch up on the next video.